We all loved Squid Game. The psychological show has become loved across the world. We all just love a good scare intertwined with an amazing story that shocks us. But there might be other shows that went under your radar that are even scarier than Squid Game. These are shows I would definitely recommend you go and binge. So let's jump into the top 5 horror TV shows scarier than Squid Game. Coming in at number 5 we have Marianne. Marianne is a terrifying Netflix series that even Stephen King said is an amazing story that kept him up at night.
Je me suis dans mes cauchemars depuis mon enfance.
Quelle chose? Marianne.
The show follows famous horror writer Emma Simon. She is doing a book signing for her latest book series, Marianne. Her books are about an evil spirit, Marianne. She dreams about this demon, but when she writes her stories, it stops her nightmares. She had announced that her latest book will be the last one in the series, though. She was then approached by an old friend from her old town. She claimed that her mother was Marianne and she needed her help. She told Emma that Marianne demanded she keeps writing the book so she will take her family. Emma, unable to believe that Marianne is real, travels back to her hometown to protect her family and figure out what is really going on. We follow Emma as she figures out her stories are not just nightmares that kept her up at night. She is fighting against Marianne in a race to save her hometown from the undead witch. The show is filled with jump scares and gory violence. Not only is it an amazing story, but it'll scare you to your core. You might finish the show by having Marianne plague your own dreams. Coming in at number 4 we have Black Mirror. There are so many episodes of Black Mirror that could be included on this list, but we'll still stick to just one for now. One of the more shocking episodes for me was Playtest. The episode follows an American traveler who was short on cash. He decided to download an odd job app to make some extra cash. When he sees a job to test a revolutionary new gaming system, he jumps at the chance. He accepts the job to test the game for one of his favorite horror video game developers. The episode is not only terrifying, but it is full of references to video games throughout. He arrives at the location and finds out he'll be testing a new type of VR, one where they put a chip in your brain to project the images through your own eyes. You won't know what is real and what isn't. He signs a confidentiality agreement and a waiver, so if anything happens to him, the company are not liable. He sneaks his phone with him, taking photos of the tech to send back to his friend. The game starts off innocently enough with childlike games. After the warm-up, he is taken to a large house, dressed to be like a set from a horror game. He works his way around the house. Slowly they start using his biggest fears against him. He starts off confident as it is only a game, but slowly he starts to question what is real and what isn't. His emotional trauma starts to infect his game as he has to confront those demons of his past. It takes the audience on a ride as we don't know what is happening to him, while also being scared by the horror. The episode ends with a tragic twist. I won't ruin it if this has made you want to watch the episode, but please call your mum. Also, just binge watch the whole show. It's amazing. Coming in at number 3 with Hannibal. The Hannibal TV series is based on the characters from Thomas Harris's novels Red Dragon, Hannibal, and Hannibal Rising.
No thoughts in the bone arena of your skull for things you love.
Whose profile are you working on? Whose profile is he working on?
I'm sorry, Will. Observing is what we do. I can't shut mine off any more than you can shut yours.
The series follows the story of the FBI profiler Will Graham. He is recruited by the FBI to get to the bottom of a series of killings in Minnesota. The investigation begins to weigh heavily on Will. To help him cope with the horrors he is seeing, they bring in Dr. Hannibal Lecter. As the audience, we know that Hannibal Lecter is a cannibalistic killer. We watch as Dr. Lecter manipulates the FBI and Will Graham. As the show progresses, Will Graham and Lecter build a strong bond. Lecter is fascinated by Graham's ability to empathize and understand the psychopaths he is getting into the mind of. Hannibal starts to push the boundary with Graham in his fragile state. He continues to push him. He hopes to turn him into a killer himself. Hannibal can be described as a psychological thriller. The audience is always guessing what will happen next. The show gets darker and darker as the seasons go on. It will make you question who are the good guys. You watch as characters you love turn on one another. The show makes the killings look like art. They take pride in their actions and show the beauty in their work. The show is not only an amazing story, but the attention to detail and visuals of the show make it one of the best things on TV. It is often hard to decipher the relationships between characters. Are they in love, or will they take the other's life given the chance? Some have called it the perfect mix of Breaking Bad and Dexter. It is a dark masterpiece and something that is a must watch. Coming in at number 2 we have Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is a mystery horror serial drama created by Mark Frost and David Lynch. It was first aired in 1990 but has a massive cult following. Many regard it to be a TV classic and a landmark turning point for television. It is critically acclaimed and is often called the greatest show of all time. All of this does not overshadow the show's terrifying nature though. It is a twisted show that may not be the taste of a lot of TV viewers today. It is a creative masterpiece straight from the mind of David Lynch. Like many of his pieces, it draws from elements of surrealism, offbeat humor, and distinctive cinematography. The series follows an investigation by FBI agent Dale Cooper. He is looking into a recent disappearance of a young girl from the small town of Twin Peaks in Washington. The show has supernatural elements with the melodramatic portrayal of the eccentric characters. Following a hiatus of over 25 years, the show returned in 2017 for a third season. It returned with a lot of the original cast along with the same writers. The more we find out about the town, the more disturbing and somewhat confusing it becomes. Everyone in the town has their own secrets, and often nothing is what it seems. David Lynch often uses his work to show distorted views of life in the suburbs. When the show returned, it had a much darker tone. All of Twin Peaks will linger in your mind. Many things happen in the show that will terrify you. There is even talk that another season could happen. David Lynch explains that he does have another story that he would like to get out. So this might not be the last time you get to visit the stories of Twin Peaks. If you have never seen an episode of the show, it's hard to explain what to expect. You'll be in for a crazy ride and expect to watch a show unlike anything you've ever seen before. The mind of David Lynch is unlike any other. Go in with an open mind and watch the stories till the end to truly appreciate his artistic mind. And finally, in at number 1, we have The Haunting of Hill House. The Haunting of Hill House was a TV miniseries that was released in 2018. It follows the life of a family as they move into their new home, Hill House.
We're not like any other family. We're different because of where we grew up. Hill House.
Hugh Crane and his wife Olivia buy the mansion in hopes of restoring and flipping the home. They hope to finally have enough for their forever home, as they have been moving their family around for a number of years. They are loving parents and Olivia gives off a maternal warmth, supporting and loving all of her children deeply. They have 5 children: Stephen, Shirley, Theodora, and twins Nell and Luke. The children begin to notice strange things about the house. Their parents pass this off as children playing and their large imaginations. As the hauntings grow, they take hold of Olivia. One night something mysterious happens, something we as the audience are kept in the dark about. Hugh flees the house with his children and brings them to safety. He returns to the home and we don't see him again till much later, covered in blood. The children find out their mother is gone. We only ever know what the children know, so we follow each of their narrative to uncover the full story. The mystery of what happened to their mother haunts them into their adult lives and leaves tears behind their family unit. The story mostly follows then grown-up children. Stephen is now a best-selling author, having written a paranormal story based on the family's experience in Hill House, although he does remain a skeptic about what happened there. Shirley is now a mortician. She is married with 2 children. Theodora lives in her guest house and is a child psychologist. She has psychometric abilities that allow her to help children unable to express their problems. The twins suffered the most from the loss of their mother and the hauntings they experienced as children. Nell is suffering from depression and mania, while Luke has addictions he is fighting. They often fall in and out of their siblings' life, becoming a burden on them. The twins were the only ones to witness their mother's final moments, something that has always haunted them. Each of them is plagued by their demons, both inner and physical being. These beings are terrifying and the scares in the show are truly chilling. Nell is followed from childhood by the bent neck lady, a terrifying shadow of a woman whose neck is bent far to the side. When Nell sees the figure, she suffers from sleep paralysis. She can't run from them, just stare deep into the clouded eyes. Only she can see the ghost, and it is truly terrifying. The episode in which we find out the origins of this entity is something that will scare you to your core and stay with you. The story is gripping and the jump scares are frequent. Not only will it make you jump in fear, it will emotionally scar you. If you're looking to be truly scared, this is the show for you. I could go on, but I won't give away any spoilers. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? What horror TV show scares you the most? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and until next time, I'll see you later. As the show progresses, as the show progresses,